Susanna J. Dodgson, Haddonfield, New Jersey. I'm at Haddonfield Memorial High School. In the distance, you can see yellow poles. They're right on the top of a staircase. And I can remember 20 years ago, more than that, maybe 25 years ago, when my eldest son started high school. A student was a little carried away with a car and drove it halfway over the edge. After that, they put up the yellow poles. Kids will do stupid things. And sometimes kids do very brave things, like they sign up for wars that they don't understand. And they don't come back. This is a poppy exhibit that was officially opened today. It's a copy of the memorial to the 1914-1918 dead that was created in London and that was opened in 2014. And I believe it was closed, and people bought the poppies on Armistice Day 2014 in memory of the many millions who had died in the war. Now, I don't know how many. Okay, it's called Project Poppy, lest we forget. Now, the war, the American First World War, only lasted from 1917 to 1919. The war, the British War, lasted 1914 to 1918, and I had relatives die in every single one of those years. This is very beautiful. Now, the poppy is a flower that was found in Flanders. And the whole month of November, at the beginning of every November, you see people in England wearing a red poppy. It's not really seen as much in the United States. In fact, it's hardly seen at all, because we have so many different Memorial Days. Today is our Memorial Day. And November 11th is Veterans Day, the Veterans Parades. So we have it all mixed up. But there's no question that there's always been a lot of grief over soldiers dying in the war. And this is the Haddonfield Memorial High School. So it's actually dedicated to young people and old people, but mostly young people who died. And here we have it. The honor roll, citizens of Haddonfield. I don't know if this means these all died. If this was in a British town, that's exactly what it would mean. Maybe these are people who served. It's hard to believe all of these would have died in those 2 years. In a war that was so far away from the United States. Here, let's zoom in. Go down 2 rows at a time, lest we forget. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. It's interesting because it doesn't give their rank. Oh, some of those names, they're still here in Haddonfield. Oh my. My English grandfather had one brother, so there were only two of them in the family. And of course they both signed up. They'd gone to the rugby school, and my grandfather went from the rugby school brigade into the trenches. I understand he was wounded, but I don't know how, which is how he met my grandmother. She'd been widowed from an artist called Campbell Lindsay Smith. Look how beautiful this is. And then she became engaged to a lieutenant colonel called Colin Sterling. He died. And then she married my grandfather in January 1919, and exactly 9 months later, my father was born. And my mother named him Michael. Operation Michael was the German operation that killed her fiancé. So my grandfather had 9 first cousins die in the First World War, cousin-in-law, and an uncle. Just one person. His brother was severely gassed. He started off trying to become an officer, but he was kicked out. And I found his war records, and he just never recovered. He worked as a teacher. He ended up dying in Vienna in 1962. And I found a report of students of his when they heard a loud bang in the classroom, and he dived for cover. He was absolutely traumatized from the First World War. And when you're British and you go to rugby school, being traumatized and being gay was not cool. That's presumably why he moved to Austria. After the Second World War, he was fluent in German. He actually worked as a translator as well. So I see a poppy and I think of lives lost before they were able to make enough mistakes. I'm sure my great-grandmother was very happy that both of her sons came back. I know she was. So what a lovely memorial. I'd read about it, but I hadn't realized what a beautiful job they did with it. And this is really gorgeous. And then opposite is there's a graveyard. That's Haddonfield. Right, okay, so my children went to high school right opposite a graveyard, right next to a Christian Science church. So that's how they got started. So, all right, Susanna J. Dodgson, May 30th, 2022. It's a Monday. It's Memorial Day. Beautiful, warm beginning of summer. have a safe summer, and thank you for watching this. PeaceScientist.org is my website.